Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are convening the Health Subcommittee of the House of Representatives for Tuesday, February 6th, the year 2024. Ms. Adams, would you please call the roll?
Representative Hicks.
Here.
Representative Jernigan.
Yep.
Representative Leatherwood.
Here.
Representative Martin. Representative Mitchell. Representative Sherrill.
Here.
Representative Terry.
Here.
Representative Williams. Chairman Hawk.
I am here. The
You
chair
have a quorum.
detects a quorum. Thank you very much. We do have a calendar before us today, and we will take that up. We'll go in order as we're presented. Item number 4, we may have some discussions on here in a few minutes, but would you like to go ahead and take? Okay. Would you like to take privilege on that and say anything in the moment, or?
We can wait till we get to 4.
Okay. We will take up the calendar now. Any personal privilege by, yes, Representative Sherrill, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Just a few words. This past weekend, they have been some of our people that brings out news in our community, made some comments about our committee last week. Maybe saying some things that I would say is not right about this committee, but I'd just like to say that our chairman, David Hawk, does a great job, and to whoever's out there that made the negative comments, they just don't know what they're talking about. We do appreciate you, Chairman, very much.
Thank you, Representative Sherrill. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, all right, we do have a calendar before us. We will go to item number 1 on the calendar, House Bill 1862 by Chairman Faison. You have your motion. You have your second. You're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee. I don't venture over in the health committee very often. I'm a little scared of y'all. So proud to be here today.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have
Chairman Faison, I want to interrupt you for just a moment. We do have an amendment that
yes,
will
sir.
help your bill. Doesn't necessarily make the bill, but will help your bill.
Yes, sir.
Drafting code is 013253. We have a motion and a second on that. We're going to go ahead and put that amendment on the bill so you can discuss in its full nature. All those in favor of placing Okay. We are going to vote on adopting House Amendment number 1, which will be drafting code 013253. All those in favor of placing this on the bill, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. We're on your bill as amended, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee. The bill that you have in front of you is a licensure compact bill for physician assistants. Currently, there are 3 states. Hopefully, we're going to be the 3rd state. There's 2 states that have this compact started. Once we get to 7 states, the National Association of Physician Assistants will recognize that there's a compact, and you will be able to work with your license from this state to those states, whatever states that adopt this. And that's kind of it's a thick bill. That's all the technical stuff that meeting requirements for each state and all that who would join in this. It looks complicated, but it's actually really simple that will allow PA to practice in other states that are part of the compact once it gets started.
Thank you, Chairman Faison. And we have been working on these compact bills over the last several years and certainly see the value to that. You've heard the explanation of the bill as amended. Any questions?
Oh,
Question has been called.
my man.
All those in favor of sending House Bill 1862 to full Health Committee, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill moves forward. We are now on item number 2 on our calendar by Chairman Faison. It is House Bill 1863. We have a motion. We have a second.
And
This
we
bill
have an
may be
amendment
in
on this one as well.
This bill is in a similar posture in that we have amendment number 1, drafting code 013319 to go along with this. We have a motion. We have a second on that. We'll get the bill in its proper posture and place this amendment on. All those in favor of placing amendment drafting code 013319 on the bill, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill is amended. please explain it to us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Committee, once again, it's good to be with y'all. Thank you for having me. This bill is somewhat like the one you just saw, although this one is a little bit more special to me. I want to give you an idea that there's 111,000 registered dietitians in the United States of America. I happen to be married to the prettiest one of that whole bunch. And tomorrow is Dietitian's Day on the Hill, and she will be here. Y'all be nice to her when she comes. So what we're doing is kind of the same thought is this would make it to where a dietitian could operate and practice in other states that have entered into the compact. And several of our contiguous states are about to do it. Plenty of them have them in their committees and their legislature this year. Some states have already done it, but this would, I think with the passage of ours, would actually start the compact. We would be number 7, and then it would grow from there.
You have heard the explanation of the bill as amended. Any questions or comments?
Yeah.
Chairman Jernigan, you're
Yeah.
recognized.
Should we roll this a week till we hear from Miriam and then decide whether or not? It's a heavy lift here.
Chairman Faison, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would admit that my wife is far better at everything than I am, and she would do a much better job, and she would be certainly more pleasing to y'all than me standing here. So,
But you're
but I
confident,
would prefer you not roll it.
you're confident she'd be in favor of it.
100%.
All right.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? I do have a message from Miriam. She wants to know what you had for lunch today.
Barbecue from some county. And it was good. Don't
Winchester.
tell my wife that.
So, all right. Are you ready to vote? All those in favor of sending item number 2, House Bill 1863 to full health committee, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill moves forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are now going on to item number 3 on our calendar. House Joint Resolution 778 by Representative Slater. You have a motion? You have a second. Representative Slater, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, committee members. As you have the resolution before you, it is to set every year, February 24th is SCN2A Awareness Day in Tennessee. And if you'll indulge me just a few minutes, you may not be familiar with this disorder, and I'll give a little bit of background in just a minute, but I'd like to just share with you how this came about. I have a colleague in my life outside of the legislature. He and his wife have 3 sons. Their youngest son is 3 years old, coming up on 4 years old. And their son was diagnosed with SCN2A, which will make it so that their son will never be verbal. He can walk and he is mobile, but he is nonverbal. And so the family brought this to my attention. It's something that is not very well known. Right here in Tennessee, we're leading the way because there's already research being done at St. Jude's and at Vanderbilt to not just to identify this abnormality, this gene or abnormality, but also to see if there would be some way to treat individuals. I'd like to share just a little bit more since this is a resolution for awareness, and so I think the awareness starts here. SCN2A is the gene that has been identified to cause autism, epilepsy, and other neurological issues when there's a deletion or a mutation in this particular gene. SCN2A related disorders affect patients in a wide spectrum, ranging from severe life-threatening conditions to intellectual disability, depending on where on the gene it is changed or mutated. Almost all patients will live a life completely dependent on others for their care and safety. This has captured the interest of the scientific community and pharmaceutical companies to discover new treatments, not only to save the lives of the patient, but also to help alleviate this burden. And so with that, I would like to ask you to support this resolution to make February 24th SCN2A Awareness Day.
Thank you very much, Representative Slater. Any questions? I would like to ask a bit, and I do have a piece of legislation that is dealing with infant diagnosis of potential maladies that may follow them. Your constituent that you mentioned, the family you're dealing with, as they're finding this chromosome 2 that is giving challenges to their son. Do you know when that gene was defined in your constituent? What type of testing brought that about? And I do have a piece of legislation eventually that will come about dealing with that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And they related to me that they have the 2 older boys. And as their youngest son, they started to determine at about 8 months old that something wasn't the same as far as development. They weren't sure what it was. And so fortunately for them, and fortunately because they live here in Tennessee and research has already been done, it was correctly diagnosed that was the genetic malady that they faced. And they're not certain. In fact, the doctors have been very straightforward with them that they really don't know what the future holds for their son, Samuel. And but it was early on, which is a good thing for the family to at least know. Diagnosis, and I'm not a medical doctor like some here are, but I think that diagnosis is, there's got to be diagnosis before there can be treatment. And so they're very thankful that there was diagnosis.
Thank you very much. And I agree with everything you just said. So thank you very much. Any further questions or comments for the sponsor? Seeing none, we're ready to vote. All those in favor of sending House Joint Resolution 778 to full Health Committee, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your resolution moves forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee.
Thank you. Item number 4 on our calendar, House Bill 1610 by Chairman Jernigan. Chairman Jernigan, you've been doing some very diligent, delicate work on this piece of legislation. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeoman's work. We are working with the governor's office and we are sharing information back and forth. And I think we're very close, but I want to give the governor's office and the governor some time to look over what we presented to them. And so we'd like to roll this 1 week, and hopefully we'll be in a good posture next week.
Okay. Without objection, we will roll item number 4, House Bill 1610, 1 week. All right. Any other business to come before the subcommittee? Great meeting, everyone. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.